gosh, hi. That was very like butch. I was like, all right, mate. All right, here we go. Imagine if I couldn't play this. Thank you all for coming. I have news. Is this thing on? Yes, it is. I just have to get really fucking close. I have news. I'm seeing someone. What's he like? Handsome, charming, mentally ill. He's perfect. It's a strange feeling new to me, sets my mind reeling, leaves my body free. Cause when we're together, I can't get enough. Yeah, I like your style and I like all your stuff. I know that it's hard to see just what is coming over me. I just wanna make you understand that I am the first woman, yeah, first woman to love. Nobody else has ever felt this way before. It's a brand new concept that I invented myself. It's a feeling universal and yet completely unique to me. 'Cause I am the first woman, yeah, first woman to love. Everyone else was lying because I invented love. You're welcome. What else about this fella? Don't worry, I'm gonna tell you. He's my snuggle buddy, my pal and my friend, and I kinda know we'll meet a horrible end. But for now, enjoy it. I'll just play dumb, 'cause I love every morning waking up full of cum. I know that it's hard to see just who is coming over me. I just wanna make you understand. Spot on share impression. I am the fourth woman, oh, first woman to love. Nobody else has ever felt this way before. Or will again. Yes, I did invent it. I'm a woman in STEM. And if people say that's not true, well, just don't listen to them. 'Cause I am the first woman, yeah, first woman to love. Every movie was lying because I invented love. Love is a many splendid thing. Love will keep us together if love is right. Love is all you need. So we gotta fight, 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 fight for this love. I am the first woman to love. Nobody else has ever felt this way before. And if there was a contest for love, I know that I would win. Because I'm the only lover that there has ever been. I am the first woman, yeah, first woman to love. All those movies were lying because I invented love. Again, you're welcome. Love, well, that was me. Baby Cupid, I am she. Just call me Aphrodite. When I was 18, I lost my virginity to a man who wouldn't speak to me in public. But now he is a nobody, and I invented. Just to reiterate, it's going so well with this new fella that I've come up with something, and I think I'm just gonna call it love. You know, it wasn't always like this. Before I invented love, I was just like some of you here in this room tonight. Alone, sad, desperate. Sorry. There is a girl, a daughter and a sister. She's out there looking for a special mister. She comes to brunch with stories to tell. You get the sense that her life is absolutely hell. She's the only slut in your friendship group. She's always on the prowl. She's out on the tower, no king but still a crown. This queen never throws in the towel. Just the only slut in your friendship group. She's always getting laid, but the price must be paid. Every good hog has its day. But it's a cycle, it's an endless loop. She's had her share of true love and romances. Seen around the town, she'll do her secret dances, looking for love in places so obscure. You're uncertain why, but you are absolutely sure. She's the only slut in your friendship group. Her heart and soul are raw. His secret desire meets her unquenchable fire, and all her holes are sore. For when she takes a 9-inch dick, she'll tell you he was kind but thick. You think, thank God, is this the end? Then it turns out that he has a girlfriend, and they're not even cool or open or anything like that. He's just cheating on his partner of 7 years who he owns a house with. In this economy, could you imagine? Don't worry, months later he would text me to tell me that what I said to him when he revealed this to me was what made him get help. Better late than never. Don't think poor Sam bamboozled by another man, 'cause what you don't understand, no, what you'll never understand, is I am a god of sex. I make men on antidepressants come. I don't think you understand. I am a god of sex. I make men on antidepressants come. And I don't think you understand. No, I don't think you understand. No, I know you don't understand. I don't think you'll ever understand how hard it's really hard. Oh my God. Wow. Can I be vulnerable for a second? Okay, last year was really, really fucking rough. How rough was it? How rough was it? Don't worry, I'm going to tell you. At the beginning of last year, I started new medication. Oh, thank you. What did it do?
What did it do?
Everybody else.
What did it do?
Thank you for asking. Okay, so this new medication, if everyone takes their hands and they make a fist, and then take your shoulders and bring them up to your ear, and then inhale, and then hold that for 15 years. That's what it did. Side effects include depression and weight gain, but for me, it just made me murderously horny. Last year, I sucked off a man for 35 minutes. 35 minutes and he didn't come? No, when I'm done, he'll finish. The other side effect is, of course, I can't look down while a man is going down on me because of the phrase, the early bird catches the worm. Anyway, because of this murderous horniness, I did get on a certain app, the one that goes brrrp, and I did invite a stranger around to my house for casual sex. That one's like testing the room. And that stranger turned out to be the love of my life. I know, he showed up. We made out for 3.5 hours. I came up for air. I looked him in the face and I said, there has never been a time in which I have not known the touch of your hands or the kiss of your lips. You are as familiar to me as I am to myself. And he said, yeah, same. From that moment on, we moved at a pace best described as sapphic. A month in, he came to my birthday party and met all of my friends, and one of my more lesbian friends described him as a man she wouldn't hate to see again. I know, high praise. It's going really, really well. Like, honestly, we're just really compatible. That's the thing that I like the most. We're so compatible. Like, just the other day, we were, this is so funny, but the other day we were making love so passionately that I went up to the loo and I thought, oh no, my diarrhea's back. And then it just turned out that I was full of cum. I've never been happier. I'm terrified I'm gonna ruin it. I know an honest man. It's different, new and strange. New love with this honest man. He likes to watch me while I change. The games have all been played, prizes never won. Yet all I know in this whole wide world, there's only one thing I'll ever want. This is like a sincere song. I mean, I am a singer-songwriter after all, which is just a nice way of saying twat. The sky is blue, and all the birds are singing a lovely tune, and I like spending time with you, my dear. So put your dick in my mouth. The weather's clear, and all those stormy days have disappeared. So while we're here, let's make the most of it, my dear. Put all my toes in your mouth. Not as like a sex thing, it's just very gender affirming. I'm a size 6, they all fit like a big sandwich. And every bone within my body says run, it's too good to be true. But when I see your beautiful face, I wanna sabotage me and you. I want to cheat on you with a stranger, or open a credit card in your name. I'll frame you for tax fraud or arson or larceny, 'cause if I build a wall, you'll never get to me. Have I given too much away? Would I ever want it back? Will you see me here as I am and fill in for the things I like? 'Cause I like spending time with you. We got upstairs lube and downstairs lube, and I wouldn't mind if every night we snuggled watching Monk starring Tony Shalhoub. Monk is a 2002 crime detective procedural starring Tony Shalhoub as Adrian Monk. He's not a monk, he's a detective. And with the plucky assistance of his sidekick Sharona, they go around the San Francisco Bay Area solving murders. The only murder he can't solve, who killed his wife? Tony Shalhoub, sha-la-la-la-la, Tony Shalhoub, sing with me! Tony Shalhoub, sha-la-la-la-la, Tony, one more time! Tony Shalhoub, sha-la-la-la-la, Tony Shalhoub. He was the dad in The Marvelous Miss Maisel. One night we were lying in bed shooting the shit, and I turned to him and I said, hey, what did you want to be when you were little? And he said, what? And I said, when you were growing up, what did you say you wanted to be? And he said, I always said I wanted to be happy. I said, yeah, I mean, that tracks. You're like the happiest guy I know. And he said, well, with you, I'm really happy. What did you want to be, Sam? And I said, well, okay, so you know I grew up in Texas. And he said, yep, you mention it often. And I said, well, okay, so when I was growing up in Houston, Texas, I really wanted to be a dolphin trainer at SeaWorld. And I wanted to use the dolphin shows to teach people about Jesus. It was Texas. My parents were incredibly religious, but I don't think it affected me at all. Lord, we ask you for forgiveness. Told us in your loving light. We come before you, we are dirty. So make us pure in your eternal light. Looking back, I would have done things differently. If I were in charge, things would have changed. No rose-colored glasses, 'cause as time passes, I see the mistakes that were made. There's lots of things that you can do with a family. Things just seem so different now I see them. Like, I don't think that it's a fun idea to take a 5-year-old to a coffin museum. Coffin museum. It's exactly what it sounds like. The Houston Museum of Death, or it's in the National Museum of Funerals in Houston, Texas. It's coffins, it's wall-to-wall coffins. Every color, every size, some are shaped like corn. It's a gentle reminder that since you've been born, it's all just one quick trip to the fires of hell. There is one the shape of a cowboy boot, one the same dimensions as you, and you think, oh God, I'm fine, and it's my turn to die. But it's fine, yes, it's fine, 'cause God has a plan, and it's fine, yes, it's fine, because I have a plan. My mama told me in the book of Revelations, when the end comes, there'll be silence. So if I keep on humming, the apocalypse can't happen. That's what I've now been led to believe. So now in every movie or theater show, I am humming to myself quietly. For about 15 years, I would just intermittently hum just to make sure the apocalypse wasn't happening. But of course, nobody questions a musical child humming. Blackout. Hold on. I've lost a shoe. Oh. I've been thinking a lot about motherhood, you gays. No, I've been thinking a lot about motherhood, and not just because, like, I'm mother, but also, I'm the same age my mother was when she had me, teen pregnancy. And when I was growing up, my mother was zany. When I was growing up, my mother was a conservative Christian in Houston, Texas, and I came out fruity. At one point, like, she's very normal, she's very regular now, but at one point, I turned to her and I said, Mom, why do we have a copy of the Quran in the house? And she said, well, you have to know your enemy. What Allah, I turned out so normal. Anyway, she's simmered down quite nicely now. She's quite regular, she's quite normal. But when I first came out to her, one of the first things she said to me was, if you have a child and start a family, I will disown you. Lady, don't threaten me with a good time. Ever since that day, I was like, well, maybe I don't have kids because, you know, they're rich and I want to stay in the will. But also, I don't know, when you transition on the NHS, everything's related, don't worry. When you transition on the NHS, the main difference between NHS Wales, where I live, and NHS England, where we are now, is that in NHS Wales, they offer gamete storage. Your sex bits, your sperm, your eggs, whatever you got, you can freeze it for later use. In NHS England, they offer laser hair removal. NHS England, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Everyone that I've told this to is like, Sam, you should do that. You should freeze your bits. And I have never been on the fence about wanting kids. I do not want them. However, enough people say, like, you should just do it for the crack. Have a good time, you know, jizz in a cup. I was thinking, and I was like, okay, what would be the benefits of me freezing my bits and having biological children? And I was thinking, and I was like, okay, well, number one, my family, we don't really have any pre-existing health conditions. Number two, we don't get sick all that often. That's eugenics. The first two reasons for starting a family shouldn't be Mein Kampf. We're not trying to preserve the bloodline. We're not the British royal family. Anyway, the third reason would be that it would look like me. Don't want to ruin it for everyone. I am a brunette white woman. And I don't want to spoil it for everybody, but this might not be my forever face. Anyway, enough people said it, and I was like, all right, maybe. Like, you know, you have so many people being like, well, you don't know, you're young, you could change your mind, you're running out of time. So I'm here to report that pressure to have kids is a universal experience of most women, which is wonderful, because for such a long time, I thought the main thing that we all had in common was increased chances of sexual assault, always being paid less, and feeling a little overdressed. Thank you. Anyway, this is a long way of saying that I've changed my mind about children as a genre. Because my friends started having kids, and I love those fuckers. They are so sweet and stupid, and I do have a niece, but I don't like her. She is an ugly baby. I'm allowed to say that we have the same face, so she'll grow into it, and she'll have 5 to 10 years of looking and feeling beautiful as an adult, and then one day she'll be sat at my parents' kitchen table, and my dad will look at her and say, oh, look at her dimples. And my mother will look at her and laugh and say, that's not dimples, that's the beginning of jowls. But I adore my friends' kids. They're so stupid and sweet, and I do have a favorite. I know you're not supposed to have favorites, but they're not my kids. My favorite is the theatrical child. He's camp as shit. I love him. Okay, so the other day, I was in the kitchen talking to one of his moms. Gay! And he was playing with a little toy car on the kitchen tiles, and he was trying to get her attention. And instead of doing that like a normal child would, by saying, Mama, look at me, something he is very capable of doing, instead of doing that, he made this noise. That's a wizard. That is a wizard warning a village of peril. Look, invaders from the south. Look, the Martians have landed. Look, a sale at Zara. He outdid himself the other day at pizza night. So everyone I know is gay, so everyone I know is vegetarian. And this bitch loves ham. Oh my God, he loves ham. And one of his moms, gay, was like, hey bitch, do you want some ham? And he goes, ham! And he did a little dance, and then they gave him a packet of ham. He peeled it open, put it in his mouth, and he ate it like this. He went. And I started immediately crying. Because I was like, oh my God, you two, you got together. And you made Ponyo. He's literally Gizmo from Gremlins. We have so much in common. But honestly, like, it's nice to have something in common with someone you've just met. He's only 2. And me and this baby, we have 2 wonderful things in common. We both love attention and haram meat. Don't worry, I felt weird about putting that in. Anyway. Oh, I felt weird about putting that whole section in. I was like, oh, are people going to be weird about it? You know, like, oh, it's a bit nonsense. She's obsessed with her friend's kid because he's basically a mogwai. That is what the gremlins as a species are called, but doesn't that sound like a slur? Anyway. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, all right, Sam. One-woman show featuring a monologue about motherhood, not that original. That's like the pink tax of solo lady theater. And I feel like as queer people, we do so much self-policing that kind of just stops us from wanting things that everybody else takes for granted. It's not strange being different. It happens almost every single day. The world the times change, yet here's this funny feeling I can't escape. It's not a crime to want a family. It isn't wrong to want to belong. I have the right to want something, the right to follow my dreams, to wake every morning with husband and child, knowing one day we will fight when they're teens. I would be so strict to be unbelievable. I have the right to a partner, someone along for the ride, shared jokes, shared friends, a private life out in the light. I have the right to employment from a job that pays fair and good, and a real job, not like a social media manager for a company that just sells cat food. But if the people from Dreamies are here, I'm Tech Avail. I have the right to be boring, the right to be bland, to work in an office is my only wish, and every single morning I will microwave old fish. Look, somebody's got to do it, and it might as well be me. I have the right to... Oh God, what are the fucking words? Jesus Christ. I have the right to be left alone, to grow or shrink as time passes by. Can't we just pursue our lives? Daughters, mothers, wives. I have the right. I have the right. The right to a normal life. I'm so sorry. I've really let this whole evening get away from me. I'm so sorry. They said, do you want to come do this? Do you want to come just open the envelope and then like, hold on. They said, do you want to just come open the envelope and then get off the stage and read the winner? I'm so sorry. This has been an absolute, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to read the winner now. Just hold on. Okay. All right. Can I have a drum roll? And the winner is... It's me! Ah! Oh my gosh! I've never won anything before. Oh my God, thank you so much. I'd like to thank the Academy, Fort Bend Baptist Academy in Houston, Texas, for instilling in me good Christian values that I later completely abandoned. I've always been like this, unfortunately. When I was in kindergarten, my mother got a phone call from my teacher saying that I was in tears because I couldn't understand why I wasn't allowed to be the Virgin Mary in the school nativity. But I think between you and me, that teacher looked me up and down and just knew that one day I would grow up to far more closely resemble the other biblical Mary, the whore. Childhood is such a strange time, and I've always been like this. My 9th birthday was a pottery class. And not like paint this plate and we'll fire it. No, we threw pottery. I made a vase. What business does a 9-year-old have with ceramics? Childhood is full of little quirks and funny little nicknames. I had a childhood nickname. Everyone called me this. My childhood nickname was Faggot. Could have been worse. My younger brother's childhood nickname was Leave Skid Marks. He grew out of his, I grew into mine. Gender is such a complicated and nuanced thing, and I think the way I've approached it is I've just done whatever I want, and people have kind of figured it out, like picking out a spice from a curry, like, oh, woman. I transitioned socially 15 years ago. I've been Miss Sam Hickman for such a long time. I have Miss Sam Hickman checkbooks, so I'm ready for when they start doing bathroom checks. Anyway, I would never change my name, though. Sam. I was named after my mother's favorite German Shepherd, which means two things. I've always been a bitch, and I do have a EU citizenship. That was really bad. I do have EU citizenship. God, Christ almighty. I had one glass of wine at dinner last night, and I'm ruined. Anyway, I've been thinking a lot about vaginoplasty, and not just because of Amelia Perez. When you transition on the NHS, they give you a binder full of vaginas. You can design your own. I think I would like mine to be long and skinny because I hate it when dogs look like their owners. Just to make sure everyone's familiar with the process of a vaginoplasty, I've prepared a song. You're welcome. First you take the schlong and then you skin it. You take the scrotal sac to make a labia. Then you invert the penis, make the head into the clitoris, and then use the penile skin to line the neovagina. Thank you. Thank you.
Immediately better than Amelia Perez.
Thank you. So essentially you're using the skin from the phallus to line the new opening. So it's a bit like using a Waitrose bag on a bathroom bin. It's beautiful, but you know it's going to get covered in piss. Anyway, then you get like a hole that doesn't really go anywhere, so like a very fuckable belly button. I think I should thank all the runner-up women. I'm so sorry. I'm always getting ahead of myself. Thank you to all the runner-up women in the room. Thank you so much. I don't know how any of you identify. We're in Bristol. Part of me thinks like, oh, maybe we shouldn't like rank women or pit them against each other because it upholds patriarchal tropes. But I'm a winner, and my job is to be complicit. Thank you. I did only recently start medically transitioning, which is so silly, so silly. And I know you're like, oh, the wait lists must be very long. They're not that long. It was procrastination mostly. I had like 10 years where I just didn't really do anything, and I like to refer to that as like the lost years, where I was like a single transsexual Moses wandering through the desert. Just to give you an idea of a typical day in the life of the lost years, one day I was out busking with my little harp, and this man came up to me and said, hey, will you come play for my wife after you're done here? She's just down the street and I can pay you. And I said, absolutely, absolutely. Cut to me following a Qatari sheikh up to his apartment to play for his wife, who turned out to be real and Scottish. Twist. I was then handed an envelope of cash and immediately got on a train to Gloucester to have sex in a field with a man who was allergic to grass. It was that for 10 years. Anyway, so part of me is like, okay, why did you wait so long? And the answer is very simple. I never learned to prioritize my own well-being. What is life if not gasping for air? But also, I have that disease where I'm like, oh, I don't want to be a burden. I never want to be a burden, you know? Like, I just have the disease where I'm like, I'll die in the corner, like when you have an old cat that slinks off and you're like, well, that's the last you've seen of socks. Anyway, it's really bad. It's really bad. One point I had tonsillitis so bad that I left it so long that by the time I had to ring up the GP for an emergency appointment, over the phone I sounded like Donald Duck. I'm so sorry, I want to penicillin. I'm not well. Anyway, I also had that disease where I'm like, oh, it's mental illness, isn't it? And I don't want to waste taxpayer money. But I think like it all changed when, towards the end of the lost years, I would peel back my curtain every morning and I would see my elderly neighbor in his garden smoking a fag. It's not a slur if you say it in the accent. Fag in one hand and IV bag in the other. And I thought, oh, we all deserve health care. So now I'm on HRT. Anybody else? You can always tell the wait lists of a venue. You can always tell the wait lists. In London, it's silence. South Wales, it's everyone. No perimenopausal women in the room. Anyway. Okay, so why I did it, mainly, is because I was lying in bed one night, and I was thinking to myself, okay, Sam Hickman, baldness runs in the family. So if you go bald, simple solution, I'll just kill myself. That's not the first solution. The first solution is hat. I own a hat. So, what I'm on now, it's not like an exact science. I will say that. It's not an exact science. And it did take a little bit of figuring out how different things interact with different things and different things interact with me. So when the love of my life dumped me, we all knew it was coming, otherwise I wouldn't be here. Come on. I'd be under someone. Anyway, when he dumped me, I cried uncontrollably for 6 solid months. Every morning I would wake up sobbing. I would go through the day on a light tear, and then I'd get into bed and cry myself to sleep. And 6 months in, I went to the GP, and the GP was like, no, that's definitely the drugs. So that was nice. What I'm on now, okay, because I know everyone's watching. Okay, what I'm on now, I take a 1/4 milligram of finasteride to stop me from drinking bleach. And then every morning I slather on a little estrogen gel onto my inner thigh during my morning poo. And then once every 3 months, I go in and a nurse shoots a testosterone blocker into my ass, and that's the one you fucking want. Jeez Louise, that one is great. That one is perfect. Turns out my entire adult life, I've just been a little anxious. And I know you're like, Sam, you just told us a story about going to have sex in a field. Imagine the shit I am doing now. I am unstoppable. So much. Last year, I went on a second date that was just a 4-day road trip around Scotland. I caught a fish. Anyway. The other things that it's done, it means that I only come once every 2 weeks, which has taken a lot off of my plate. When I do come, it is completely clear. It's like ghost spunk, and if I'm with a partner, I will shout, "Who are you gonna call?" Anyway, it's so different for so many different people. I was in a car the other day with a bunch of trans ladies. Ooh, I know I have friends. And we were going to the beach, playing with fire. And we were chatting shit, as ladies ought to do. And we were in the car, and one of the girls was like, I have recently started progesterone, and I love it, and it's really helped me put on weight. And I said, that's not a problem I've ever had, thank you. But it's so interesting because, like, she is on progesterone to help her, like, build tits and ass, and I take PrEP every morning because when they handed it to me in the sexual health clinic, they said side effects include loss of appetite, and I thought, thank God. Ho Zempic. Manjar ho? Anything? Anyway. My body's really changed over the last few years, and maybe there's a fucking song about it. Sometimes the world can get you down, leave you feeling flat. Oh, God, guys, come on. Sometimes the world can get you down, leave you feeling flat. Oh, thanks. You could wind up with a government that's full of fascist twats. Ooh, political. You could get dumped by your boyfriend, be broke and unemployed. At times like this, I remind myself of all life's simple joys. I like to think of this as like an 80s power ballad, like a song that would have like a superfluous, yeah, let's do it! Every morning I wake up and I got tits and paired with an ass that'll never quit. I thank God above, but also all the drugs for these certain wiggly bits. Every morning I wake up, I still got tits, and I'm like some memory Sisyphus. I'm ready to push that boulder up a hill, maybe bust a nut, maybe find the will to leave. Every morning I wake up, yeah, bridge. And even though when I'm waking up, yeah, I'm waking up alone, sad, I get out of bed and I look in the mirror and I see how big they've grown. They're a 36B, which isn't like, ooh, wow, honka honka, but I think they are the perfect size because they're a handful, but I can still run up and down stairs. Every morning I wake up and I'm real bored. Hey, maybe I'll watch a little gay porn. Cause when I masturbate, I'm not picking straight because the women always sound like they're dying. Hiya, stepdad! And it's never what I want to see. What I want to see is a close-up of the guy's face, and I want that microphone shoved so far down his throat that you can hear him whimper as he puts it in. But you never get that. You just get close-up of hole. Every morning I wake up, yeah. Do not talk about my tits when I am off the stage. Thank you, it's inappropriate and disrespectful. And yeah, I know I brought it up, but it's my song, my set, so my rules. Tits, 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 tits. Sometimes, okay, so usually I'm getting my downstairs renovated in a couple of years. We get my downstairs renovated. I used to think like, oh my God, this hose attachment's so useful, but now I seem to spend half the time pissing on my own shoes. I usually sit down to have a wee because it's nice to take a load off, but also it does make me feel more like a well-brought-up European boy. Oh, mother will be so proud. I did not sprinkle while I tinkle, but I will still be sweet when wipes the seat. But sometimes I do still stand for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you psst? Like if it's cold, or if I don't know the bathroom. If I don't know that toilet, I'm doing a little squat. And I know it's like, oh, not very feminine, not very ladylike. I guess womanhood is a performance for outside, for the other people. If a trans lady falls in a forest, is she still trying to code? Hack! Anyway, there's been a lot of discourse about like, what is a woman? And I have the answer.
What is a woman?
That was more of an ooh. I want more of an ooh. Okay, let's do that again. You know, there's been like a lot of discussion about like, what is a woman? And I have the answer. Ooh. In the form of a story. Ooh. So, flashback. It's a beautiful October day in 2012 in Cardiff, the city where I live, and I'm walking from one end of town to the other to go to an event. It's a beautiful October day. October day. God, I hate winter. It's a beautiful October day, and I'm walking under the underpass, the pedestrian underpass between City Hall and Butte Park, if you're familiar. And as I'm walking to go to this little event, on the other side of the underpass, there's this woman, and she's hunched over. And I think, oh no, this woman is not well. She needs help. And as I'm walking to this woman who's hunched over, she turns, she locks eyes with me, and she says, oh, sorry. And then, she pees all over the wall. Guys, that's a woman. Because what is a woman solving a problem? What is a woman efficient? What is a woman doing a little squat when she doesn't know the bathroom? And I think we need to come together and fight the real enemy. Men who design women's bathrooms. Because every time I go in one, there's always a sanitary bin, and every single time it seems like it was a surprise that they had to put it in there. And now my childbearing hips have to graze the insides. Let me tell you something. If more men had shit to flush, you would be able to flush a baby. And another thing, I actually don't have anything. I'm so sorry. I don't have anything. That's the end of that. This whole section was just called Sam Hickman Changes the World in 10 Minutes or Less. And I don't have that. I don't have that, and oh God, I don't think I'm capable of that. My mother was right. I'm a failure. No. Thanks, guys. This is a serious moment. Wait a minute. Arched back. You gays, is a harp concert. This is a harp concert. This is a harp concert. I don't need to change the world in the next 10 minutes. I don't need to do shit. I don't need to be a monolith for my community. I don't need to change the world in the next 10 minutes. I just have to play harp. That's it. And I know times are shit and everything's bad. And I know that, but I just want to be regular inside and out. That's why I take so much psyllium husk in the morning. This is a harp concert. That's all this has to be. So, I think it's not a fun time to be different. And I think when we come together in spaces like this, the most important thing that we can do is, of course, pray. So if everyone can take the hands of the people next to them. It's cold and flu season, so really think about it. I love that there's like an Auld Lang Syne happening at the front, if everyone could do that. I'm deadly serious. Please take the hands of the people next to you. Bow your heads, close your eyes, and I will lead us in a closing prayer. There is no time left for regretting. So we must make the most of what we have. To all the people out in the darkness, I say this prayer, a song on your behalf. I pray for peace, I pray for mercy, from a world that makes existing oh so hard. I pray for justice, I pray for salvation. I pray that love will come and find you as you are. I sing this prayer for all of us, that one day we'll be free. I only want the best for you, but what I want for me is thousands of pounds, thousands of pounds, thousands of pounds in my bank account overnight. Thousands of pounds, thousands of pounds, thousands of pounds in my bank account overnight. I've done nothing to earn it, it just appears right there. I've done nothing to deserve it, just like a billionaire. So give me thousands of pounds or millions of pounds or billions of pounds in my bank account overnight. Billions of pounds, we'll all go to space. Billions of pounds, yeah, I know I could spend it right. They say the cost of community is inconvenience, and that's why at every function now all the food has to be vegan. But if the inconvenience is the cost of community, wouldn't it be inconvenient if you'd all hand over your money to me and give me thousands of pounds? I'll take cash or card. Thousands of pounds by the end of the show tonight. Thousands of pounds, this is not a joke. Thousands of pounds by the end of the show tonight. Also, I wouldn't mind world peace and an end to all of the war, but God would seem simply more believable when he could tackle some prayers that are achievable. So give me equal rights and freedom, asylum in New Zealand. I'd be fine with just a free Palestine, or thousands of pounds, or a 3-bedroom house, or a dog that's called Ralph. Closed mouths don't get fed, guys. By the end of this show tonight, I pray this for all of you, that one day we'll all wake up in a bright, beautiful tomorrow, and there'll be thousands of pounds in my bank account. But for now, I just hope you all got home safe, and there are no scary teens on your bus. All right, continue the praying bit. I'm going to close this out with some amens. Amen. 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 I want to go to the zoo. Amen. 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 I'll make love in front of a kangaroo. Amen. 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 That was First Woman. Thank you so much. I've been Sam Hickman.
Wow, thank you so much. Take a big time.
How was that? That's a lot.